be discussing on Mule4 cryptography model. So let's start with the agenda. Let's go through the agenda, like what all things will be covering. So we'll see first what is cryptography and how to install that cryptography extension in Studio. Then there are three encryption strategies being supported by cryptography. So that is PGP, JC, and XML. So we'll go through each strategies, like how they work, like what are the steps involved in generating the keys for those strategies, then the demo in Anypoint Studio. So we'll see each strategy in detail. Okay. Then also we'll have a look on the general operations which have been supported by a cryptography module. Okay. So anytime, like if you have any questions, you can anytime unmute yourself and ask. We can resolve it there and then. And if anyone have any experience working on cryptography module, they can also add in their inputs and make it a good learning session for everyone over here. Okay. So before we start, guys, can anyone let me know, like, what do you understand by word cryptography? Anyone, like, any thoughts?
Here, actually, I have to give audio for everyone, but just
Okay.
you can write the message here in the chat. So Preetam, you can see in the chat about the answer.
Yeah.
So as we can see that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Smiles.
Study of encrypting, decrypting techniques. Yeah. Correct. Like we have proper answers for it. So let's continue. Yeah. So cryptography, like as the word says, like crypto means hiding and graphy means like hidden messages. So basically, it's a technique of securing the information and communications over a network. So it's a process wherein like the plain text can be converted to an unintelligible text or vice versa. And we can define it as a process for storing and transmitting the data only to those for whom it is intended to. Uh, like say suppose like whenever working with the clients, okay, we may come across like we may send or receive sensitive information like username, password, server usernames, then username, passwords, or maybe client internal information. So like it's very insecure to send this information via text, email, or on chat. So it's always better to encrypt this messages. So that's where the cryptography comes into picture. Okay. So the MuleSoft cryptography module provides capabilities for cryptographic features, and it includes symmetric encryption and decryption of messages, asymmetric encryption and decryption of messages. It also supports message signing and signature validation. So as I mentioned earlier, like it supports three different strategies for encrypting and signing your messages. So first is PGP, that is a pretty good privacy, JC, Java cryptography extension, and XML for signing or encrypting XML documents. So till now, like all good. Like anyone have any questions? Do let me know. Sheikh, you can help me out. Like if there are any questions, let me know so that I can check the window and answer.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So for installing the extension, we just need to go to Mule palette and search for cryptography module and add the extension. I will show you in Studio. So just we'll just see the steps for installing it first, and then just need to add the extension. Okay. So once the extension is added, this is how it will look like in in Mule palette. This is the crypto module, and we could see the various operations supported by this module. So the general operations like calculate checksum, validate checksum, JC, PGP, and XML encryption strategies, and operations supported by each one of them. Okay. So starting with PGP cryptography. So PGP is like pretty good privacy. It's an encryption program that provides the cryptographic privacy and authentication for data communication. So we can use PGP for signing, encrypting, and decrypting text, emails, is to increase the security of email communications. So we can encrypt all or maybe a part of a message using PGP. So one like PGP has an additional feature, like it combines the data compression and encryption to secure the messages. So the compression reduces the size of payload, and it helps to reduce the transmission time of our application. Okay, so we'll see like how a PGP works. Okay, so PGP for encryption, PGP uses a public key. Okay, for encrypting, and for decrypting it makes use of private key. So let's try to understand using the diagram. Say we have two users, user A and user B, and user A wants to send an encrypted data to user B. So in that case, a user B will be sending a public key to user A. So user A will make use of, sorry, user A will make use of this public key for encrypting the data and will send the encrypted data to user B. Once the encrypted data, it will decrypt the data by making use of its own private key. So as mentioned, like for encryption, it makes use of a public key, okay, which has been shared by another party to which from where to the person whom you wanted to send the data, and for decryption, it will use its own private key. So any doubts till now, or maybe I can continue? So guys, it's important to first PGP works, so that it will be easier for us to understand the demo.
There's one question. Once encrypted by public key, cannot be decrypted by same public key again in
No,
PGP?
yeah, for PGP we'll need a private key.
Okay, because
So then,
yes, go ahead.
yep, sure. Yeah, so basically we'll need two keys, public and private key, for encryption and decryption in case of PGP.
Yes, and it is like a same like one-way SSL where we are having the public certificate, private certificate, public certificate, client sending request encryption, and that is
Yeah.
kind of, yes, okay. It is like one-way SSL. We can say that.
Yep.
But what kind of text we are only the payload we are encrypting the whole message we are, or is there certain part of the message we are encrypting in PGP?
Yeah, so it's on to us, like depending on requirement, we can either encrypt whole message or part of it.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so guys, to generate a key, public and private key, so there are a few steps which we need to follow. So for generating key, like we can make use of any tools like which are available are Cleopatra, then key tool, and using Git hash also we can Git bash also we can generate the key. So here today, like I'll be showing you how we can generate the key using Git bash commands. Okay. So first, like for generating a key, we'll be using a git command. So this is the command which will be. So I will just walk you through the steps, like what all git commands we'll be using for the key generation, and then we'll see that like we'll try to execute those command and generate the keys. Okay. So we'll be generating the key first. Okay. So once you execute the generate key command, it will ask you for the name and email address. Okay, so once that has been added, like once you enter the name and email address, it will ask you for a passphrase. So we need to enter the passphrase over here. Okay, and let's like we need to note this down, like we should never forget the passphrase which we are using. Okay, so once that is done, we will using a git bash command, we will find out all the list of all the keys which are available. Okay, so from that key we can find out our key, like we can using the email address which we have used previously. So suppose in this case, this is where the email which I have used. So in this picture, if you could see, in blue highlighted is the fingerprint. Okay, for of our and this is the key ID which is highlighted in orange. Okay, so these two like fingerprint and key IDs, we should note it down so that we'll be using it during our demo. Okay, while creating the application.
So basically, for example, suppose one question from my side.
Mm-hmm.
I am the person who want to do PGP. Okay, but you are a server. I'm a client. Okay, how I get public key? For example, I need to encryption. So how I get public?
Yeah. So like moving on to the next step. So once we have the fingerprints and key ID generated for our email address, we'll be generating the public key using the below git command. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. And
And
once it
then,
is generated, yes, go ahead.
yeah, so once it is generated, it will be exported to a folder, whichever like path we have been mentioning in this command. Okay. So similarly, we'll be generating the private key and exporting it. Okay. So one important thing to note down is like when we will be generating the private key, it will ask you for the passphrase again. So we need to enter the same passphrase which we have provided while key generation. Okay. So let me just go and open Git Bash. Okay, I have those commands handy with me. Okay, for PGP. So let's execute the command for key generation. So let me enter the name. Say Preetham. Email address can be any email address you guys can mention. So currently I'm just providing a dummy email, but in real scenario, we'll have to provide a valid email address over here. Okay, let's press OK. Okay, let's set the passphrase as suppose. Okay, we'll re-enter the passphrase. Okay, so as you see, like the key has been generated. Now let's find out the list of keys. Okay, so you can see that there are various keys available. So we need to fetch out the proper key for depending upon our email address and the name we have provided. Okay, so this is the email address which we have used while generating the key. So as I mentioned, this value like under sec, this is the fingerprint. Okay, and this is the key ID for my key. Okay.
Fingerprint and key ID.
Yeah, so we need to pass it while creating the application in PGP configuration sheet.
Okay, so it's kind
And
of input for PGP.
yeah, so fingerprint will be using and key ID will be using when generating the private key. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the command I will be using for exporting the public key. Okay, let me just look up for the path. Okay, let's see.
T, the key folder.
Yeah, so it should actually create it. Let's try to create it in on normal desktop. Yeah. So where it is generated, what was the name which I've given? Mule public. Okay, path is desktop only, right? No. It says that it's already present. Let's see. Maybe if I'm not able to view it.
Make new
Yeah, it's
folder.
this. It's this
Okay.
file. So it has taken that path, like desktop and all. Okay. Okay. So while creating a private key, okay, here is where we need to pass the key ID, which we have generated. So let's copy and paste the key ID for our application. It was this. Okay, so it is asking me for the passphrase. It's something.
It is in key folder, correct?
Yeah, so it should basically create it in a key folder. I'm not sure why it's not creating. Okay, wait. Let me remove this key folder.
But also the mule underscore private dot png is file correct file name or not?
Yeah, it's a correct file name. Like we can provide any file name, that's fine.
Okay.
But just that the extension should be .pgp. I'm not sure why it's not creating a file.
Maybe double quotes require.
Yeah, wait, just give me a sec. It's key. That's it. I'm not sure why it's giving me this unencrypted file because I've already created the key maybe. Okay, let me try to generate the key again. It looks something has went wrong. Let me use the different email address here now. Okay. And I think I've already created a certificate folder in my C drive. Let's use the same now. Okay, so private key is generated. Let's okay, and this certificate refresh it.
I think you have to give right double backward slash in path.
Sorry.
A double backward slash you need to give
Now you
for
will
a.
see that it has created it. Okay, it's not giving me any error for
Yes, no, no, it is created, but if you see in the C drive or somewhere,
yeah,
can
maybe yeah, I missed
can you
it.
give and yes, here also. Yes, yes, it's probably
Yeah,
created in Dex.
it's created.
Yes.
Yeah, I missed that.
Okay.
Okay, so here is the public and private key generated. Okay, so next step will be like we'll be saving this files under source mail resources of our mail application. Okay, let me just go back to the presentation. Okay, so this is just a demo. Like I will just walk you through what are we going to cover in PGP demo. So it's a simple application wherein we'll try to encrypt the payload data, decrypt it, and then we'll try to sign the message and validate the signed message. Okay, just move back to Studio. So just to show you, like this is the uh, operations which have been supported by this model. Okay, and let's go back to the new flow. Let's see like what's the configuration, like what are things we need to add in configuration. So as I mentioned, like I've already stored my public and private key in their source mail resource folder. Okay, so let's see the PGP configuration.
Stored a private key and public key at one places because in one process we are doing encryption. Correct.
Yes.
If we are only doing encryption, then we only need public key.
Yeah, so in case of encryption, we just need public key, and for decryption and signing the messages, we'll need private key.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so in this configuration, since we are for encrypting, like I've created two configurations separately, but we can create like both at a time, and or using one configuration also we can run the application. So I've created a public key. I've just mentioned the name of the file over here. Okay, so we need to create a key ID. Okay, so if you just click on this add-on, we need to mention the key ID, this key ID can be anything which we want to use. Then the fingerprint needed, which we have created while generating the key. Okay, so we just need to add the fingerprint over here. Now, since for public key, like for encryption, we don't need to use passphrase. It will be needed for decrypting the message. So that's the reason. So these all are the details which we need to pass, like principal, passphrase, fingerprint, and key ID. Okay. So I'll just show you what I've used for my application. So key ID which I've used is test crypto, and fingerprint which was generated by creating the key. Okay. So that's it. Like it just we need to mention the public and private key files over here and the key IDs. We need to create a key ID for our application. So similarly for decrypt also, like I've just mentioned the private key, and I've mentioned the same key ID since we'll be using the same key for creating the decrypting the message. So as I mentioned, I've mentioned the passphrase over here for decryption purpose. Okay, so the key ID which we have created while in configuration, so we need to pass the same key ID over here in this. Okay, over here we just need to mention the key ID which we need to use for encrypting the message. Then other fields are like the algorithm which we want to use. So I've kept it as default, but it again depends upon the application we can make use of any algorithms. If you see, there are many algorithms, various algorithms supported over here for encryption, like Blowfish, DES, and so on. So it will encrypt the data by making use of the key and algorithm mentioned. Okay. So a simple application wherein we'll be logging the encrypted data. So I've already deployed it. So let me try to hit the endpoint from Postman and show you. Okay, so I'm making use of a JSON object over here. Okay. Let's try to hit the endpoint. Okay, so let's see in console. So this is the encrypted data for PGP. So this is how it has encrypted the data. Okay. Then for decrypting, it has decrypted the messages. Okay. For signing, this is the signed message. And for validation, it will. I've just printed the same payload what we are getting. So in case if there are any failures in validation, it will throw an error, an exception. So till now all good, or like you guys have any questions with the demo?
Yes, we have a question. So let me. Can be DW for this encryption PGP or crypto model we have in provision, I believe.
Yeah. So crypto module, by using crypto module, we can only encrypt the message. There is no support for decryption. And
And
also, yeah.
yes, go ahead.
No, Sheikh, yeah.
And as I'm saying that there is a limitation, there's a few algorithm only there in
Yeah.
DW
Yeah.
crypto model.
So,
HMAC with and MD5 SHA-1 and hash with.
yeah.
Those are the only algorithms supported. Okay, so next question we have requirement where use a PGP end-to-end from Workday and target application. Can we use this case PGP in Mule?
Yeah, sure. We can make use of it. And we'll also walk you through other operations which are supported by PGP. So maybe you can check out like if that suffices your requirement, and you can make use of those application operations as well.
Yes. So you're saying that for encryption at one application and sending a data and decryption at another application, correct? If we have a two different application running in a different environment.
Sorry, I didn't understood your question, Shiv.
For example, suppose there's an experience API and a process API. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the experience API, we are doing PGP encryption, and a process API, we are doing a PGP decryption. Correct?
Yeah,
One application to another application.
Yeah, we can do that. It's just that we need to maintain the key IDs and the algorithm to be same. That's it.
Correct. Yes. What is the difference between sign and encryption?
Yeah.
Good question.
So basically, signing is basically another level of security it will add on. So encrypting is one thing, and it's basically a kind of digital signature we do. So a kind of another security level. It's the
Yes.
same file name will not used for decrypting. No, Prathamesh, file name will be private key. So while decrypting the message, we'll make use of private key. So it will be the private key file name.
Yes.
File name.
And the file name, yes. And the private underscore pub, you have used the file name, correct?
Yeah. So what's the purpose of signature? So signature, as I mentioned, just to add another level of security to our application. So it all depends. Like for demo purpose, I've just shown you like how message will look like if you do a signature, like if signing a message.
Correct. So basically, encryption is one security. On top of we can do signing. So basically, it's add another security while we are signing. So basically, generate a signature and digest value, and those we can verify that. Correct. Those we can validate that. So our message will not be impacted, or someone cannot be added something in that message. If someone someone do some changes on our message, then it will not be validated. Correct. There's one question: can the expiry date extended or key renewed? Is there any expiry date in the private key, public key?
I don't think so that there's an expiry key.
Okay. So basically, once we have generated, it's for lifetime.
Yeah, because I've generated this like application like few days back, and it is still there.
Like we have certificate, like public certificate, private certificate,
Exactly.
those having the validity. But here in PGP, we don't have a validity, correct? For key.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Yes. We have finished the question. I think.
Yeah. Someone mentioned to just show the encryption configuration. So this is what we have provided. Like we have just mentioned the public key file name and the key ID fingerprint.
Okay. And one question: can we change algorithm for encryption?
Yeah, we can use any algorithm for encryption, but same should be used for decryption as well.
Correct. Yes. One question from Prathamesh. Not here where you have defined the algorithm. We define the file name there. You use stream as a file name.
No.
Can you show the configuration once?
Yeah.
Yes. Algorithm and file
Yeah.
name.
So this is by default it has taken stream. Like we don't need to mention anything here.
Okay. But can be anything. Yes, we can choose that algorithm. Can you click on drop down of algorithm?
Yeah.
Yes, these are the algorithm for PGP. There's one question. What is a PGP validation steps? Validation steps
Validation steps, as in.
in PGP. Yes.
Okay.
What
So
actually
what
this
we
operation?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we just need to pass the payload like a value which we needs to be validated and the expected value for it. So I've just retrieved the in target variable. I've saved the signature and I'm passing like passing the same for expected value.
Yes. So it means that once we sign, we are sending a same message as well as we are sending a signing value, digest value, and
Yeah.
those.
So,
Yes. Yes. We can go ahead. We have no more question. And Pritam, thank you for your continuous support. Means I am from myself, I'm feeling very good because here we are learning something and instantly we are responding answer. Yes, so we can move further.
no issues, Sheikh. Thanks. Okay, binary data supported. Yeah. Yep. Wait, I will just show you. So, we have other operations also like PGP binary to Armand. So it will give you an ASCII Armand representation. So and encrypt PGP encrypt and sign. So this will combine both encryption and signature. So this operation and then encrypt binary. So it will give you a binary outcome. Similarly for signing also we have a PGP sign binary.
Yes.
Okay. Any more questions or we can move ahead? So can I continue?
Please.
Okay. So I think we have covered like almost all like encryption, decryption, sign and validate, and also we have went through other operations supported by this. Okay. So I think we are good with PGP. Now we'll move on to JC. Okay. Okay. So JC cryptography is Java cryptography extension. It's an officially released standard extension to the Java platform and a part of Java cryptography architecture. So it provides a framework and implementation for encryption, key generation, key agreement, and message authentication algorithms. Okay. So how JC works? So JC have basically comes with two flavors. Okay, we have a password-based encryption using JC and key-based encryption. So using password-based encryption, this method enables you to encrypt and sign content by providing only an encryption password. Okay, we don't need any keys over here for encrypting the data. only using a single password, we will be encrypting the data. And with for key-based encryption, it is similar to how like PGP and XML encryption works. So it enables you to configure a symmetric or asymmetric key to perform encryption and signing operations. So JCP password-based encryption, this method applies a hash function over a provided password to generate a symmetric key that is compatible with the standard encryption algorithms. So since PBE only requires a password, we don't need a global configuration element for PBE operations. Okay. Then key-based encryption. So we can use symmetric or asymmetric keys for encryption and decryption for key-based. And to use JC encrypt and decrypt connector, we need a key store. Okay. So using a key store, we can generate the keys, symmetric or asymmetric. So this is the command for generating the key. So this is the alias name. Okay. ENC key is the alias name which we need to pass. Then the key algorithm which we will be using for generating the key. So we need to mention the key algorithm, then the path where the key should be saved. Okay. Then the key size or the store type, like if it should be JCKS, or so there are three extensions which have been supported. So we'll walk you through those. Okay. So okay, so similarly, like for PGP, what we have we'll be covering the same operations for JCPB, password-based encryption, like JC encrypt, decrypt, signing, and validate. Same thing for key-based encryption as well. Okay, so let me just go back to Studio. Okay, so let me show you how we can generate the key.
So generate as you using a key tool, and in the key tool command you're using a generate secret key. So you're generating a symmetric key, only one key which is using for encryption and decryption.
Yeah, so we will be I will walk you through like how we can create a symmetric as well as asymmetric key. So currently we'll see how we can generate a symmetric key. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
So step will be more or less same. It's just that the algorithm will change for creating the symmetric and asymmetric key. So we have to enter the password over here. Okay, so it's asking me for the store password, so I'm keeping it same for demo purpose. But I think okay. So what was the part which you mentioned? Let's stop. Yeah. So here's the file which has been generated. It's a JCKS file since we have provided that extension. Let's open the JC demo. Okay, so for password-based encryption, it's pretty simple. Like we don't need any configuration element over here. So let me just show you what are things we need to pass. Okay, so it's simple. We just need to select the algorithm which we need to use and the password we'll be using for encrypting the data. Okay, so these are all the algorithms supported by the password-based encryption. Like we have HMAC, SHA, MD5, DES. So nothing much need to mention for PBE. So just the algorithm and password. Okay. So this basically it creates the data in binary format. So I've just converted it to I've transformed it so that it will be properly been displayed in base64. Then same encrypted data will be sending it for decryption.
Can you
Yeah.
show me transform message?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
So
just
only
converting it to base64.
okay. Okay.
Then same encrypted data will be sent for decrypting. So we'll be sending it for decrypt operation. Let me show you same. You just need to pass the algorithm and password over here. So same steps, okay. And for key base, So here's the key store. So I have already saved it in my source main resources, if you see. So just need to mention the file name over here and the type of that key store. So we have made use of JCKS. If you see, we can use PK, CS12 and JKS also. Then the password which we have set while creating the key store. So we need to pass the same thing. So now I have not like hidden this password, but in real time scenario, you will have to encrypt the password as well so that it won't be visible. Okay. So just if you click on add, so it will give you two options for generating an asymmetric key or symmetric key. So you just need to pass the key ID, alias, and the password which we have used while generating the key store. Okay. So in my case, I've just for just demo purpose, I've created two symmetric keys, wherein I've provided all the required fields. And for this application, I will be making use of only one key over here. So like it's not a constant like how many keys we can create as many symmetric key as we want in our single configuration, and we can make use of the keys depending on like which key you need to use for encryption and decryption. So just go back to the demo. Okay. So I just need to pass the content which needs to be encrypted. Then the algorithm. So since I have used Blowfish algorithm when generating keystone, so I've selected Blowfish, and the key ID which I'll be using is this symmetric key. Okay. So we need to mention the like key ID which we'll be using for encrypting the data. So same key ID I've used throughout, like for decryption as well. Okay. So let's try to hit the endpoint and see. So let's see password base first. Okay. So this is how the encrypted data look like. And decrypted data, it has given us the proper payload, which we are sending through Postman. This is the signed data. Okay. And validated, like I'm just printing the same payload for validation user.
One question I have. So what is the difference between symmetric encryption decryption versus the password one, the say password one?
You mean password based encryption?
Yes, password based encryption.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Sheikh, like for password-based encryption, we don't need to use any key. It's just that using a single password will be encrypting the data. Okay, and coming to key-based encryption, so as I just showed, like we need to make use of a key store and generate a symmetric key. So again, like depending on requirements, you can either use a symmetric key or asymmetric key. So difference between symmetric asymmetric is like symmetric encryption will use the same key for encryption and decryption, whereas asymmetric will make use of like for asymmetric encryption will use a different keys for encryption and decryption. So it will make use of one public key for encrypting it and a different key for decrypting the message.
Okay. And as I can see that in the password based encryption, there is a certain algorithm
Yeah.
which not having it in the JC encryption, because Bluefish is not option in the
Yeah,
password.
so
Correct.
yeah. So algorithms which have been supported in both the cases are different. Like
Correct.
you can see, yeah.
Yes.
As I mentioned, like we have HMAC, MD5, SHA1, and if you just go through the key-based encryption,
Mhm.
so these all are the algorithms which have been supported.
Okay. Okay. There's one question from Ankit. Can you show us key-based encryption with JKS key store and algorithm? As a Blowfish, I tried, was not working in my end. So I tried. Okay. So actually, he's Ankit says that the JC encryption with JKS format is working or not.
It's the same. It's just that while generating the key, we'll be making use of .jks.
and we have to change the store type also JKS, correct?
Yes. Otherwise, there is nothing like much difference. It's the same. Yeah, just we need to make sure that while in the JC configuration, you are selecting the type as JKS and not JCKS. So I think by default it is JKS only.
Okay. Yeah, Ankit, if it is not working for you, then I will help you. Just ping me on LinkedIn. So we'll try. For this, it is not possible because we have to cover other topic
Oh, I think
also.
yeah, we have short of time. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So Ankit, ping me on LinkedIn. I will help you.
Okay, let's try to hit the Keybase as well. So here's the data, like this is the encrypted data, signed data. Okay. So for JC, like this is all are the operations. I think we have covered all: encrypt, decrypt, sign, and validate. Okay. For both PB and KB. So do we have any questions, or like we can move further?
One question we have.
Yeah.
The PGP and JC are both to secure payload or message. Which use case we will go for PGP and which use case we go for JC?
Yeah. So it completely depends upon our requirement, like okay, that what information the client is sharing with you and what encryption strategy client wants to go for. So as I previously mentioned, like PGP comes with data compression also, so it reduces the time transmission time. So it depends now, depending on the requirement you can go for PGP if you want to reduce the transmission time, or as JC. And as we see, like JC comes with two flavors, like wherein we can use password with encryption, which don't need any keys or something. It's just a simple password, so you can make use of that as well for encryption.
Okay, correct. Yes. So basically, it is also based on the platform or environment which client or consumer having. I have seen that some of the consumer using some code or where we don't have flavor of PGP, GC, and XML. Correct. So whatever the flavor they have, based on that we can go ahead. Okay, so we can go ahead,
Okay.
Pritam.
Okay, so let's see XML cryptography. So XML cryptography provides encryption, decryption of an element within an XML document. Okay, so it consists of element path, which is an XPath expression that identifies the element to encrypt. So using this element path, we can uh, like decide on like if you want to encrypt the whole XML data or like just a simple element path from that. Okay, so depending on your needs, you can make use of symmetric or asymmetric key. So just to add on, like XML cryptography uses JC configuration. Okay, so like as we just saw, like we need to create a key, symmetric key store for JC encryption. So similarly, we'll be doing the same for XML. Okay, and it can use either symmetric or asymmetric. So let's walk you through the demo. So for JC, we saw like we have made use of symmetric key. Okay, so for XML, I have created another configuration with asymmetric key. And as I mentioned, like this key store command will be the same. It's just for asymmetric, we'll be making use of RSA algorithm. So one thing is like XML cryptography can be used only for encrypting XML format. Okay, it won't support any other format. So this is the we just need to pass the key store file name, the type. So see, I've covered JK's default file name over type over here. Okay, so someone has asked for the JK's format as well. Okay. And I've generated an asymmetric key. So just need to pass the password, key ID, and alias. Then the algorithm which you want to use. So we have 3 algorithms supported. Okay. So I've made use of default. Then the element path. So over here I'm just trying to encrypt a single element path, not the complete payload. So this is how we need to mention it. Okay. Then the key ID which we have created in the configuration. So let's try to hit the endpoint. So I've just made use of a simple XML format over here. Okay, so this is the encrypted data. Mm. So see, it is encrypting only the M1 tag. Okay. M2 is not encrypted since we are not passing it in the element path. So I will tell you like how we can do it. Like if you want to encrypt the complete data, just don't mention anything in element path. It will encrypt the complete payload. This is the signed message. Any doubts for XML you have? Or you want to see any configuration?
Any advantage of using XML?
As such, it just for encrypting the XML documents. Nothing more add on into this. So it's kind of a legacy XML cryptography since it supports only XML format. So say suppose if you want to make use of any other format like JSON or something, so you will have to make sure that we are converting JSON into XML, and then you can make use of XML cryptography.
Yes. So it's one question from Sumit. How to specify multiple elements? Can we encrypt multiple element in XML base?
Yeah, so you just need to mention the element path in the so like /m1 /m2. That way you can pass.
But at a time, one element only we encrypt it, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
There's okay, no option for multiple.
So if you want, you can like if you don't mention anything, you can like just don't pass anything in
Encrypt
element path, and it will encrypt the whole contents,
payload.
whole tags.
Yes, yes. If you want to encrypt more than one element data, then you can encrypt the whole payload. Yes.
That's it. Okay. So shall we move ahead?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. So there are two general operations which are supported by this module. So it's calculate and validate checksum. So basically, these general operations are used for data integrity. Okay. So calculate checksum, it will act as an enricher. Okay, for our payload or message, and it will generate a checksum value for our message. Okay, and validate checksum will it will act as a filter for that. Generated checksum. So it will just validate the checksum which was generated whenever the application entered in and the application exit is same or not. So just for data message, just to ensure that the message is not been impacted. So I've just created a simple demo to showcase the same. So it just in configuration, like we just have to pass the algorithm. So these all are the algorithms which are supported to calculate the checksum. Okay, and the content payload. to which the checksum will be calculated. So similarly for validate, we have expected value and value which needs to be evaluated, and the algorithm have to be passed. So just basically, it's just a kind of to ensure that data is not being impacted while transmission. So again, like this checksum won't be affecting our data. Okay. So this was the checksum value which was generated for our message. So the checksum operations, they are independent of the encryption strategy. I missed that one. I think that's it from my end, check.
Yes.
Let's
So
see if
let's
we have
start
any
the
question.
yes, yes. So question and answer we will take. So from now, question and answer we will take, and after that we will have a we will take image from everyone. So so the last question from Himanshu we have. So we have encrypted the whole payload field. We have write payload. Means for example, if you want to so if you want to encrypt the whole payload, then we no need to write anything. It automatically encrypt the whole payload.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah. So yeah, we don't need to mention anything in relevant part.
Yes, yes. Okay. So guys, please turn on the video. I will take some screenshot. Uh, yes, thank you, Mani, thank you, Atul. Yes, thank you, Gagandeep. Thank you, Himanshu. Sorry, Himanesh. Yes, thank you, Ravi. Yeah, key will be different, right? For what? Means, Prashad, your answer is key will be different because it is based on the symmetric or asymmetric. Because symmetric we have a same key, asymmetric we have a different key, public key and private key based on the algorithm what we're using. Because we have a different algorithm, different, yes, asymmetric one, correct. Yes. So let me, yeah, Pritam, go ahead.
So Prasad, are you referring to a key ID which we are using in our application, or the key store? Okay, so key ID, it's on to you. You can mention any key ID.
It's a unique identifier for key.
Yep.
Okay. So let me
And
share my screen.
Sheikh, I think we have one more question. Just could you please explain the purpose of checksum? So checksum is basically hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. You're
Yeah,
audible.
because I thought like okay. So basically, this pair of operations enable you to verify that the message remains intact between the sender and receiver.
So basically, let's summarize that the whole crypto module. So crypto module provide a four feature, three XML, three encryption strategy like PGP, GC, and XML along with the checksum. Correct. In the PGP module, we have a number of operation like we have used symmetric, asymmetric. We have used password-based encryption. Okay, so it's a kind of the module. One question, what normally one issue I face, for I'm using a symmetric encryption in Python. In the Python platform or C# platform, I encrypted. I using a secret key, using a secret symmetric key. I encrypted the message. The same message I am decrypting at MuleSoft side, so it will not be happened. So sometimes this issue I'm facing. Actually, I'm working one of the project where where MuleSoft is only doing decryption, but our consumer whose can be any platform, whose can use Python code or C# code or any code or JavaScript code to encrypt the message. So as of now, I'm facing this issue, but I will create a MuleSoft ticket by, or basically for the consumer side, I will ask why every time different encryption is generated. Yes, so let's share my screen. The quiz round will be start. One by one, I will ask 3 questions, and only from every question, there's only one winner will be selected. Okay, so let me start. Uh, and okay, are you able to see my screen, Notepad? Uh,
Yes, we
uh,
can.
Yep.
yeah, thank you. So the first question I'm going to paste in here in Notepad. The answer will be in the chat. Okay. Difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption, I need at least 2 difference in one line. So yeah, 2 difference. Difference between symmetric and asymmetric encryption. So let me read the, yes. Preetham, do we got answer from chat?
Yeah, Pallavi, I think Pallavi shared answered it correctly. Pallavi Sharma.
Yes. One request from for everyone. Basically, the quiz round, we are selecting a unique one who already got the voucher in previous MuleSoft meetups. Please don't participate because it is the platform where we are giving a training and certification voucher for the one who didn't get in the past. Okay, so Pallavi, can you ping me your email ID in the chat section? Or ping me? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Pallavi. Next question on the notepad. Okay, so do we got right answer?
Yeah, I think most of them answered it correctly. And
Oh,
first,
nice.
yeah, yeah, Akshay Jujare answered it first.
But Akshay, do you already participated in? Uh, do you already having the training and certification voucher? If you have, just please say yes. Otherwise, we will give you training for you. I need one more for other course. Means you already had. Akshay, actually, this is not something where you have all training and voucher, because it is something where everyone get equal opportunity. So for now, I'm not giving you voucher. Okay, because you already have. And Preetham, can we consider another one? Another.
Yeah, like after Akshay, it's Giridhar Mika.
Okay, so Giridhar, please ping me your email ID. Thank you, Giridhar. So the last one question. I'm I'm going to paste in the notepad, and let me.
Check. So I think most of them answered it correctly.
Okay, so the correct one is who give you correct answer? Who give us correct answer?
Gaurav Jain is the first to answer it correctly.
Okay, Gaurav. Gaurav, the same question I'm going to ask you from your side. Do you already having certification on training voucher in past meetup? If your answer is yes, then no. Okay, so please bring me your email ID. Because what happened previously in our previous event of Ahmedabad or other meetups, uh, due to the backlogs, you might get delayed. You might get delayed on training voucher and certification voucher, because as of now we have a long queue. Whosoever whosoever winner of meetups, they're still waiting for their time or their voucher and training. Okay. So let me start presenting. So one request from my side to everyone is that please submit feedback after this meetup. After 1 hour, the one email is generated, because the email is asking for uh, my screen is visible, correct? Yes. Yeah, thank you. So so you can tag, you can tweet that what you like, what you dislike, anything you can do that, because and itself in the feedback form you can submit that what kind of improvement I need or what you like most. Our next meetup topic date is not decided yet. If you want to if you are expert and if you want to present the topic in MuleSoft meetup, please connect me on LinkedIn or which platform you want to connect me. And so I will give you swag, like what swag MuleSoft normally give you for the speaker, the training and voucher for any exam, any one exam, and the MuleSoft swag will be provided to you. And it is also a kind of our our skill, right? Whenever we give a topic, our confidence is increasing, and then it will help for in our life. For example, not in a single task, in every task. Okay, so this is our last slide, and I want to thank you for everyone who joined meetup today. It's kind of very fun, and it's kind of very knowledgeable session where the Preetan giving to today, and with example and with the slide. So thank you guys for that. Yeah, thank you, Akshay. Yeah.
So Dhananjay, I think is your am I able to answer you properly? Is your query resolved?
What is the question? How is PGP symmetric? I ask if public key can be reused to decrypt after encrypt. So how do you say it is symmetric? PGP can be symmetric or asymmetric? This is the question.
So
And we have
yeah. So Dhananjay, it's like for encryption it uses symmetric, and for decryption it will use asymmetric. Reason being, as I mentioned, like for decryption it will make use of private key, and data will be encrypted using public key. So,
but in a PGP, the same key can be used for encryption.
no, we can't use same key for decryption. It will we need a private key for decryption. So also in our demo we saw like that will be passing the private keys store which was generated.
So, but there is some glitch here. Our last quiz round, we have asked question: what type of encryption is PGP? Symmetric, asymmetric, and both.
Yeah. So basically
So I think
PGP. PGP, it's
Yeah.
basically a kind of hybrid which makes use of both, I'm saying, symmetric as well as asymmetric. Reason being, it makes use of public and private key for encryption and decryption.
Metric, correct, because it is not using the same key.
Exactly. Since for encryption it will make use of public key, and for decryption will it will use private.
Okay, okay. So, so the last question, the correct answer is B only, correct?
Yeah. Proper answer is
But
both.
we have choose no only
It
B
was C.
only, right?
No, it was C. Shake.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So thank you guys for attending meetup, and so hope we will schedule a new meetup on next month.
Yeah, thanks, Sheikh.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Pritam. Thank you, Sheikh.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you, Pritam.
Sheikh sir, there is one question I have. Prasad here.
Hi, Prashad.
Hi. So imagine like HMAC I have to use, and there is asynchronously, or more precisely say, asymmetric kind of encryption I need. Okay, there is one API which